When I became a mom, I was just exposed to this whole range of issues I'd never heard of before. With Dialogue, I want to talk to experts or people with varied range of experiences from pregnancy to parenthood to get this conversation started. I have a good feeling. This time I feel positive. Oh no, not again. We tried and we failed. Once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5 and countless. Is something wrong with me? Ki mamai ke kami cha? No. I am okay. I am fine. This is life. I am not alone. Something so beautiful can't come so easy. I will not give up. Then someone asks, "Bacha kaile paune?" And I can feel my heart sink. I go back to feeling like I am worthless, feeling lesser than another, feeling barren. A normal couple can take months or years to conceive a baby naturally. But with the pace we're at, fast is good. We want it now. In an age where fertility is directly proportional to one's manhood, in an age where motherhood is so glorified, the inability to bear a child can be demeaning. So, what then do we do? On today's episode of Himalaya Presents Dialogue with Zenisha, we have with us a young, beautiful and smart female entrepreneur, Shrishti Kharka. Shrishti is the Executive Director of Vatsalya Natural IVF and Fertility Center, and today we're going to talk about fertility, its existence and taboos. Welcome to our show, Shrishti.
Thank you, Zenisha.
I'm
very
so
glad to
be
here.
I'm so excited to listen to your conversation and everything regarding this topic, because I feel like fertility is not something that's very talked about, like, in normal day conversations, unless someone is actually going through it. And even then, very rarely talked about. So I'm really intrigued as to what everything is going to be about. But before we get into that, how did you, as an entrepreneur, go into this field? Like, what made you think that we need to start a fertility or bring IVF center?
So it all started when I had only recently graduated, and then I had joined a fertility clinic to work on a program. Mm-hmm. It ran for around 2-3 years, and then it had to stop. But then while we were working there, what we realized is the immense need of a good fertility treatment in Nepal. Mm-hmm. There definitely have been a fertility clinics, fertility centers and hospitals providing the service, but then the quality and the success of the treatment was very low. Yeah. And when we had patients coming in and realized that, and they were happy with what we were doing at that time, and they didn't want to go anywhere else. And then when we stopped doing there, we had so many patients saying, "When are you going to reopen?" But when because we cannot trust anyone else with this service. And that's when we thought, a few of us who were still working on it, then I think since we already know about it so much and we know how to give a good treatment service, and it's a need and it's a gap that needs to be fulfilled. And then we thought, okay, let's do it. I think it's the right time, and we have to do it. And it's been 3 years since we started, and the response has been overwhelmingly very good. Maybe because we have been able to provide a good treatment and satisfactory treatment.
That's so nice. Like I said, fertility as a subject is not very popular in day-to-day conversations.
Yes.
Why do you think so? Because Nepali culture ma जुन हुन्छ नि बिहा नगरिन्जेलसम्म बिहा कहिले गर्ने and then बिहा गरिसकेपछि बच्चा कहिले पाउने and sometimes people are going through a journey and maybe they are trying for a baby, conceive भइराको हुँदैन, and it might be a little insensitive पनि हुन्छ नि, बच्चा कहिले पाउने सोधिरहेछ, आफूलाई चाहिँ मनमा तसक्क ला म त ट्राई गरिरहेको छु, maybe something's wrong with me, but then that person doesn't have anyone to talk to about it. And so why fertility? बच्चा सबलाई चाहेको छ, तर fertility, which is such a natural thing? Why is it so?
I think what happens is we all take fertility, motherhood for granted. We don't think that for some people it might be difficult to conceive. बिहे गर्नुको next step, the thing is you think about being a mother, and in even the society feels कि अब बच्चा अब बिहे गर्यो अब बच्चा कहिले भन्ने हुन्छ हैन, and I think it's a natural process as well, but then like as you said earlier, motherhood difficult हुन्छ for some people, and only the ones who go through it understand it. अरूको लागि डक्टरलाई देखाउ न भन्नलाई सजिलो हुन्छ, but then when you become like go to the fertility clinic, then people start having different talks, like त्यसलाई त आफ्नो बच्चा हुन गाह्रो भएछ भन्छ नि, डक्टरलाई देखाइरा रहेछ, and especially when they go to the fertility clinic and they get pregnant, what happens is अर्काको बच्चा हो कि हुन्छ नि, maybe it's not their own भन्ने एउटा misconception हुन्छ, and a lot of patients who come, they don't want to disclose it कि they have seeked any kind of treatment.
Right. I know. I have got.
So it's all mostly about society and the talks around regarding fertility treatment seek गर्न जानको लागि पनि stop हुनको लागि चाहिँ main thing is आफ्नो बच्चा हुँदैन होला, अर्काको बच्चा हालेर लिएर आयो भन्ने जुन thoughts.
And also I think our society is very masculinity driven, right? Yes. So bachcha, like, you can't make your wife pregnant means there's something wrong with your masculinity.
Yes, and
somehow mardangi ko kura gardakeri, that's not man enough, you're not man enough, and that's such a sad concept to have.
That is, and also male factor infertility ko jab cases haru hamroma aउँछ, and then we see very hesitance towards the treatment. Male haru, they don't want to do their checkup, female mai hola problem. And in a way, definitely a lot of, most of the cases are female factor infertility, that a male pani is on high rise at the moment. And male factor infertility, अब नेपालमा के छ context भन्दाखेरि बच्चा भएन अर्को बिहा गर न त,
त्यो पनि छ अहिलेसम्म पनि,
अर्को बिहा गरेसी हुन्छ होला नि त भन्ने. But then what you don't realize is maybe it's the male's problem as well. अनि अर्को बिहे गरेर is not a solution.
Not a solution at all. जतिवटा बिहा गरे पनि if the problem
it's the problem is, and the male is, it's so difficult for the male to actually accept the fact,
I said no, the mardangi thing,
that the problem might be theirs.
Right. So explain to me, what is fertility exactly, and who is fertile, and what makes you infertile, and not infertile but maybe difficult to conceive or things. What is fertility?
Well, fertility in general, it's just your ability to reproduce, that's in general. Now, most important thing is, when should you seek fertility service?
Okay.
Like I said, we take motherhood for granted, we like parenthood in general for granted, भइहाल्छ नि, अहिले भएन भने भइहाल्छ नि, and then we ignore it for the longest time possible, and then when it's too late or very difficult, then only ला अब चाहिँ जानुपर्ने हो कि भन्ने हुन्छ हैन. So what it is suggested is, if you're like below 30 years of age and you've been trying without any contraception to get pregnant for a year, then still you're not pregnant, ask for help.
So 1 year is normal?
Yeah, 1 year if you're below 30. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you're above 30, then I think if you've been trying for 6 months and then you're not still able to get pregnant, then it's the right time to seek help.
Right. Okay. So below 30 say time, so even if you want to try it naturally, it's fine.
Yeah, at least for a year try.
Yeah.
But then don't do it like 3, 4, 5 years and then you're still not able to conceive. Then you have to understand that maybe there's some problem, and it's not a problem to seek help,
Right. That's interesting. But after 36 months, and I mean, even just before trying or before planning, is it recommended to like take a test and just to see where your body is at, because I did something like that, not because I was conscious or anything, but because I was like, why not malaki aru bhairachha bhane to sort it out before I start planning a baby भनेर checkup गर्नु.
I think that's very important. Fertility checkup concept, that's very important. Like when you're like 25 and you're now ready to think of maybe getting married, or now like my family about build garchu bhanne sochna thaleपछि, I think it's very important that you go have a checkup. What's your current status? What's your egg health? How's your overall fertility health doing? And if there is any issue, it's very solvable if you know the problem early on. And then that also helps you plan out about how long do I have to get a treatment or to make a family. If my egg count is already very low when I'm 25, then I should not wait till 35 to have a baby. Because a woman's fertility clock is definitely ticking, whether we accept it or not. We are born with a limited number of eggs, and an egg is very important to conceive, definitely. And as the age goes by, the eggs are lost. And some are born with low reserve, some are born with good number of reserve. So pachisamba pani you might be able to have a good egg health, but some women are born with very less eggs.
So we can get all of these tested and know beforehand,
everything.
right?
You can get all of these
because
tested.
I know of a situation where one of my friends was getting older and she wanted to get married and have a baby, and her boyfriend at the time wasn't in the same headspace as her, and she was like pushing now she was very much aware my clock is ticking, we need to start planning, or at least we need to get married. But if at the time she knew about this, she could probably have something more concrete as a data ki, this is my egg health, this is the situation, you have this much time, what do you want to do? If not, there are certain measures we could take to like we were talking earlier about what was that? Egg freezing, right? So that is an option. So tell me about that also.
So egg freezing right now is a very popular concept in the West, because West tira you tend to delay your pregnancy a lot.
With more and more careers becoming more demanding.
Yes, more and more career focused, and that is shifting early this eastern sector Nepal ma pani.
We don't want to commit right away to the guys. We need the men too.
Women have become so much career oriented, and they're focusing towards their career, which is very good. And the women, but then a women empowerment, a woman should not have to choose between a child and her career, 100%. Towards her motherhood and career. That's when for eggs freezing, or if you are married, then embryo freezing comes in role.
Embryo freezing also.
Yes. So
how about sperm freezing?
Sperm freezing
also,
as well. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So what happens is, you're 25. For women whose egg, 30 years old, what is generally believed is that egg is healthy for women until 30.
Right. 30%. I've heard that a lot.
That is generally हामी society ma bhancha, but then it's also scientific, because egg quality starts degrading. After 35, the chances of the egg quality going down is very high. If at 27, below 30 ko age ko women ko egg quality is so much better than after 35. And there is also like chances of late pregnancy, like late age ma pregnancy ma there are lots of chances of
Down syndrome
and other genetic diseases related to health.
Right. So that's when older women are a little scared.
Yeah, it is definitely ideal to have a baby and plan your motherhood before 30. But then, like I said, in career-centered women, you would not want that. You don't have to make a choice. So if you're thinking of it, egg freezing, you can come to for a fertility checkup, and then we can take your eggs of that age, like 27 now, we can retrieve your eggs and then keep it frozen. And whenever, maybe in 40s, you are ready to have a child, you conceive naturally, well and good. But just in case you don't conceive naturally, it is definitely difficult to conceive after 35 or
Yeah,
40,
yeah.
then you can use your
Use your eggs.
27-year-old egg and then have it fertilized with your husband's sperm
Right,
and
right.
get it implanted.
I was just thinking, maybe not just careers. Careers, they would aspect boy ni hali. Maybe you just haven't found the right guy.
Yes,
Right.
definitely.
You're 30 and you know exactly what you want and what you don't want, and
Yes.
you haven't found the right guy. But you know, at some point in my
You
life,
will
when I
want.
do,
Yes.
I'll get married to the guy I want, and then when I might be ready for
Yes.
commitment and everything, I might not have the eggs.
Yes.
So instead of worrying about the eggs, just freeze
Freeze
it,
it.
keep it aside, and whenever you're ready in the future,
Yes.
that's actually a good.
Yeah.
No.
And even like that is an option, and even for men, like sometimes
Yeah, I was
what
just
happens-
about to ask. So men को जस्तो हाम्रो पनि eggs को quality degree हुँदै जान्छ. Do the male sperms also have a different quality at a later point in life, or
not in general due to age, but
Okay.
then lifestyle changes also,
okay,
and then work related stresses are really garera, or maybe due to some other physical aspects like operations are garnu parera, त्यसले गरेर you might not be able to have the same quality or same number of sperm जुन पहिला हुन सक्थ्यो. So it's always safe,
It's
and
always
it's an insurance to have your sperm or your eggs frozen just in case you might not be able to
the
conceive
future.
later. So त्यो भयो, and then also like के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि in Nepal what we have right now seen lots of migrant workers,
Okay.
going abroad,
right,
and
right.
difficult to conceive because त्यहाँको working condition, त्यहाँको environment is so different, and most of the patient come with very low sperm count, no sperm count at all, or bad sperm, हुन्छ नि त्यो issues are, and they are having difficult to conceive.
Right, and also probably they come home around
for
one month.
Yeah.
दसैँ छुट्टीमा, and then there's the pressure.
There's a pressure to have a child,
conceive, right.
and so they can just come, have their sperm frozen, and they can go back, and then we
Do
can do
whatever
the
they have
treatment
to.
on the
Right,
wife,
right.
and
So-
have it fertilized.
So one egg is obviously one baby.
Yes.
Right. So when you freeze eggs, how many do you freeze?
Well, it depends on how much reserve a woman has. So it can be from 5 to 6 if your egg count is low, could lead up to 20, 25 if you have a good
Okay.
number of reserve.
Okay.
So how much you are able to, will give you hormones, how much we are able to retrieve, त्यो हामी retrieve गर्छौं, and then we freeze it.
What about the sperm? Also works like
Sperm,
that?
yeah, sperm is at one time how much you can give, that's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
And then that obviously has millions and
Millions,
millions
yeah. Sperm has
in them.
millions
So,
in just a small vial.
so that's not a problem.
Yeah.
So it's just one session. So I mean, for especially like you said, for people who are traveling or something like that, if they could just freeze their sperms and leave, the wives are here, and at any point they can get pregnant, right?
Yeah,
Very
and another
interesting.
thing, egg freezing and embryo freezing comes into really important play is if you have a history of any genetic illness or cancer, especially.
Cancer.
Yeah, so
Okay.
cancer ko genetic history छ भने, normally what happens is if you also develop cancer, then chemotherapy use गरिसकेपछि,
Right.
then your fertility is almost, you're not able to conceive, So when you know you have a history and you might even contract, like get it in future, then that's also wise before
Any symptoms.
beforehand you freeze your
To
eggs,
have.
just in case in future you might not be able to even produce any eggs.
Right, right. That's a very interesting concept. I was just thinking how times have changed, and we have so much with technology and everything, so much, yet we're not maybe aware
Yes.
that they exist. And if only we knew some of these things, then I'm sure we could just make our lives easier.
Easier, yes,
right?
definitely.
And what are some of the causes, if there are any, of infertility?
So now mainly infertility it could be female factor, male factor, both of them, or
तर
unknown.
के गर्यो भने चाहिँ अरू त्यस्तो हामीले केही गरेर हुने टाइपको के
गरेर
हुने
हुने भनेर there is nothing as such, but definitely the lifestyle changes has increased the rate of infertility, I guess, with the food that we're eating, with our extensive working environment, the stresses that we're having, and other physical infections that we might contract during the process. So त्यो overall भयो, plus definitely late marriage, late planning of the family, त्यसले पनि female fertility, all kinds of infertility in the rise देखिएको छ. Or maybe it is just like, right now, since it's starting to slowly come up, like as infertility as a topic, and services centers are opening, people are coming to seek the service, and then we see, oh, there are actually a lot of people who are needing the service. Otherwise it's normally keep quiet, don't tell anyone.
Yeah, because I know of someone who had an IVF procedure once and because a couple of years ago, maybe, I don't know, and then when they came back and they had twins, right? So she came back pregnant and there was twins, and then she didn't want anyone to know that that IVF गरेको थियो भनेर. But I didn't understand why. So IVF भनेर चाहिँ अहिले धेरै सुनिनु पनि थालेको छ. So what is IVF exactly? First, let's start with that. What is IVF?
So IVF is, very simply said, we take the egg of the female, sperm of a male, we fertilize it in the lab and make it an embryo, and then we implant the embryo in the woman's uterus. So that's IVF in general. Yeah?
And this is for also, this is one of the treatments.
Yes.
Of the many different fertility treatments that are. But why is this one the most popular one? Or
a fertility treatment, so if you're having difficulty to conceive, then IVF matra euta ho bhanne, IVF matra is the solution bhanne chai hoina. There are so many things that comes to infertility. It's just, sometimes it's just about wrong timing,
Okay.
You're not able to have the egg and the sperm meet at the right time, then you're not able to get pregnant. So if that's only the problem, we just help people to have the right timed intercourse once at the line, so, and that solves it. Sometimes the problem might just be that due to some reasons the sperm is not able to reach the eggs, due to low sperm count or bad sperm health or some cervix related issues. There is intrauterine insemination, IUI, which is another very popular thing. त्यो गर्न सकिन्छ, त्यो गर्न पनि सकिन्छ. But for some people, IVF might be the first line of treatment. IVF last resort हैन कि first line of treatment हुन सक्छ. So you have to be able to differentiate what is your need. म त अहिले पहिला यो गर्छु अनि मात्र IVF गर्छु भन्नु might not be right for you sometime. While for some, definitely, let's try this first and then we'll go to IVF भन्ने हुन सक्छ, हैन. So IVF in general is a little bit expensive treatment, that's why maybe it's a lot talk of the town this day, so IVF नै गर्नुपर्छ, IVF किन गर्ने, IVF मात्र होला, त्यहाँनिर IVF मात्र हुन्छ होला, fertility treatment भन्दा IVF होला भन्ने चाहिँ, किनकि नेचुरल प्रेग्नेन्सी हामीले नेचुरल ट्राई गरेर छौँ, यो गरेर छौँ भनेर भन्नलाई पनि it's not, we don't have to say it.
We're not in that sort of, it just doesn't give it in our culture, to talk about sex in any form. You're just supposed to believe that babies just pop out from somewhere. So anyways, so what are the things that maybe we could do to keep our vaginal health or even the health of the sperm healthy, like qualitative health?
A qualitative health, I think it's mostly about a balance between the food that you eat and the stresses, work, life, plus day to day, your mind body balance, having a healthy lifestyle might be good for your egg health and also be good for your sperm health, and keeping yourself clean all the time. Any kind of infection could lead to vaginal infections, could lead to tubal blockage, let's say, or even have maybe your sperm may not be able to survive inside inside a vagina if it is infectious. So those are the things, just hygienic, good food, good lifestyle. Those are just basic things that at least you can do to have a...
Like, we get a lot of these intimate wash for women. Do they have men intimate wash as well?
No, I've not seen men intimate
That's what I was just thinking. Vaginal health ko barema kura ta garyo, and then
not, but then it's
women
always good to be hygienic, even for men and for
of course.
women both.
I think now that I just said it, I think it could also be that for the male, obviously there is no opening as such.
Yes.
For the female, the vaginal health is much more important, or hygiene is much more important, because then we can, if there is any virus or bacteria, it could actually go inside us, and
women
could create more.
Are more prone to urinary tract infection or infections in the vagina more than men.
Men, the same reason. Very interesting. With so much talk around fertility and infertility and bacha paune, kaile paune, aile paune, pachi paune, all of this, I also believe that there is a lot of misconceptions. What are the few that you've experienced or heard from your patients?
The first thing is, पहिला सुरुमा त fertility service seek गर्न जानु is a big hurdle passed भने जस्तै हुन्छ,
okay.
And then once you're there, and especially regarding IVF मा के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि IVF भनेको त अर्काको बच्चा हाल्दिने होला, आफ्नो होइन होला भन्ने concept हुन्छ. But then it's wrong, because if you have egg and your husband has sperm, then we can definitely fertilize it and have it implanted in your uterus. And another is IVF baby ta lulu langado apango जन्मिन्छ होला
त्यस्तो पनि भन्छ झन् उल्टो मैले त I heard like IVF babies are much smarter, or I don't know why, I don't know if that's also a misconception, because apparently अब हाम्रो natural process मा त egg and any sperm is in there, but then IVF गर्दा त एकदम छानेर selected हुन्छ the best one भनेर त्यस्तो हुन्छ त्यो पनि I don't know.
Those are all misconceptions, definitely. तर at large चाहिँ there is कि बच्चा चाहिँ abnormal हुन्छ होला, normal बच्चा होइन बाहिर बनाइदिएको, normal हुँदैन होला, पछि लुलो लङ्गडो अपाङ्गो अथवा some kind of genetic issues भएर आइदिन्छ होला भन्ने misconceptionsहरू हुन्छ, which is also definitely wrong, because genetic कुनै पनि issues is your genetics, तपाईको आफ्नो हिस्ट्रीमा already छ भने त्यो देखिन सक्नु is very normal. Even in natural pregnancy पनि त लुलो लङ्गडो बच्चाहरू जन्मिरहेको हुन्छ.
Of course, absolutely.
So it's not about IVF, just because it's done in the lab does not mean it is not natural. Once it is implanted in your body, the whole pregnancy is natural. Your body, it's like हामीले त सानो हेल्प मात्र गरेको हो, because it is not able to, what your body is not able to do inside, we are doing it in the lab, and the rest is all up to your body to have the whole pregnancy process continued.
I think so. That means all of these misconceptions also lead to additional social taboos.
Yes.
There already is the whole thing about not talking about not being able to conceive. What other kind of social taboos do people who probably seek fertility services, or people who are in need of the services but haven't looked out for them yet? What are the kind of taboos that the society puts on them?
Not able to conceive is in general already a social pressure.
Right.
बच्चा भइरा छैन भनिसकेपछि what we see in a lot of women is physically they are already very stressed because they have been trying to conceive a lot. Other thing is a lot of mental stress as well. जहाँ गए पनि अब बच्चा कहिले हुन्छ नि, they don't want to go to any family
functions, right?
because the first thing is कहिले बच्चा खै त यसपालि त नातिको मुख हेर्न पाइन्छ भन्न थालेको. And another thing is कुनै पनि good auspicious occasionमा जाँदाखेरि ए यो त बाँझो बच्चा पाउन सके हैन, यसलाई नबोलाऊ हुन्छ नि,
त्यस्तो पनि छ,
त्यस्तो भन्ने पनि हुन्छ. सेकेन्ड म्यारेज लाइक अर्को बिहे गर न, किन योबाट भएन भने अर्को बिहे गर्दै भइहाल्यो नि भन्ने. सो दिज आर वुमेन्स मेन्टल हेल्थमा एकदमै इफेक्ट गरिरहेको हुन्छ. एन्ड वेन दे कम फर फर्टिलिटी ट्रिटमेन्ट दे आर फिजिकली मेन्टली भेरी डिस्ट्रेस्ड अलरेडी.
एन्ड द्याट अगेन इन टर्न अफेक्ट्स
And fertility treatment is not 100% anyway, you know. We cannot give just like that we can make you pregnant. It's a stressful process already in general. So she is already stressed and the process is also strenuous. Then what we as a service giver have to realize is we have to take care of the parents' psychological health as well. Make sure that they are in a very stress-free environment, that good psychological counseling along with the treatment is provided, you know, so that their journey becomes at least a little less stressful, you know. So that's very important when you're giving any kind of fertility service.
I know of one person who said she was trying for a baby for quite some time, the couple, and every time दसैँमा टिका लाउनु जाने बेलामा चाहिँ ल अब चाहिँ छोरा पाइहालोस् अर्को खाल चाहिँ, you know, छोरा छोरी त टाढै जाओस्, they're just not being able to get pregnant. And then she was saying के खालेको होला यस्तो ब्लेसिङ दिएको के हो सरापेको जस्तो, like because that effect that it has on her mind and on her mental health was quite bad. And what these people out of good intentions will be giving blessings, but it actually feels like a sarap.
Yes, that's very very true. That when they come, we as a clinic are very focused on psychological counseling, you know. Before seeking any treatment, they have a session of counseling where they talk about everything that they've faced, different issues, and a lot of patients cry कि मलाई यस्तो गाह्रो भएको थियो. I've stopped going to any family functions. अब देउरानीको बच्चा भइसक्यो, जेठानी भएर भएको छैन भन्नेदेखि लिएर हुन्छ नि. So family comparisons, यस्तो issues, and we as a society are quite insensitive towards this issue because we take fertility for granted. Difficult हुन्छ भन्ने नै लाग्दैन हामीलाई.
मान्छेको मनमै आउँदैन होला क्या that maybe this person is going through
exactly and until and unless you go through it you don't realize
right. And really I mean मान्छेको मनमा त एउटा आउँदैन र जे हाम्रो मनमा आयो प्याच भन्ने बानी पनि हाम्रो छ. So maybe they don't even realize that what they are saying is affecting these people, you know? And
that's true.
Anyways, you're already feeling like a failure. Somehow as a woman, you think or you're brought up to believe that the most natural thing to happen to your body is to give birth. That is what you're made for. I mean, everything else kept aside. Physically, we are made to make babies. And if I am unable to make a baby, there must be something wrong with me. I am less of a woman. Or even for a man, I am less of a man. And you're already doubting yourself unnecessarily, and there's already all of that pressure.
So that
and then
to
make to feel worse.
That also does not, you know, that's a hurdle towards seeking the service as well, you know. Service seek गर्न गएपछि अब त प्रब्लमै हो भन्ने, you have to accept it, no? It is a problem. And then I'm less of a woman, just say I'm having difficulty, so मान्छेले के भन्ला ए यसको त बच्चै हुन गाह्रो भयो, खै के गरेर आयो अनि पछि भयो.
So now I'm starting to believe that actually seeking fertility service, not just a service, even fertility consultation, if you have anything of that sort, could actually be empowering a lot of these young couples who, if they could talk in facts, like say, this is what my situation is for X YZ reasons, यो कतिजना मान्छेलाई हुन्छ, यो normal कुरा हो, maybe 100 जनामा एकजनालाई हुन्छ नै कि egg count यस्तो हुन्छ र हाम्रो यो भइरहेको छैन, and that's why we're trying to have a baby, but this is our situation. यदि उहाँहरूले पनि explain गर्न सक्यो भने maybe, right?
Definitely,
Even
definitely.
educating the people around them would probably make their own lives easier.
Yes, definitely. In like fertility information is छैन अहिले society. People don't know at all that you have to seek a fertility expert help when it comes to infertility situation. Normal gynecologist कोमा गएर हुन्छौँ, checkup गरेर हुन्छौँ. They don't. Not everybody is a fertility expert.
Right.
And not everybody is able to provide that service. So you have to seek a specific help भन्ने कुरा नै in general मान्छेलाई थाहा भएर हुँदैन. So plus what are the different topics, what is IVF जस्तै कुराहरू, what are the different stages of IVF, यो सबै कुराहरू it is important for the people to know. Informative, there's no talk at all regarding fertility. So यो कुराहरू we as a clinic have tried as much to give informative videos, informative infographics, so that at least people become aware कि यस्तो यस्तो प्रब्लम हुन सक्दो रहेछ, यस्तो यस्तो गर्नु पर्दो रहेछ, यस्तो रहेछ है ट्रिटमेन्ट भनेको, यस्तो हुँदो रहेछ भनेर जति टक भयो, जति इन्फर्मेसन गयो, जति इन्फर्मेसन थाहा भयो, and then it becomes a little acceptable. Right.
The reason I chose this topic to put on our show was also just because of this, to just get the conversation going, to make it normal, that this doesn't have to be a hush-hush kind of issue. You don't have to hide when you talk about it. You don't have to feel ashamed, and it's no one's fault. It's something as natural as getting pregnant.
Definitely.
Right? And the numbers are quite big, and obviously with now everybody getting busier, and like you said, a lifestyle that involves so much stress, so this can be an issue for anyone.
Yes.
Perfect. So it's all kura ta payahalyo, but we as a country, where are we, Nepal, in terms of fertility?
I think अहिलेको सिचुएसनमा fertility is slowly coming out as a topic, but we've still a very long way to go. Even regarding government policies, health ma we have so much focus on family planning and contraceptions, but then we forget that infertility is also a women issue.
Right.
Currently it is I feel very happy that WOREC, a women organization, is at least taking an initiative to have an infertility research on what's the infertility status.
Okay. China, this is the first one that's happening in Nepal.
The large scale research that's happening, and we're very happy and to see that at least now the government is slowly seeing that it might be an issue and talk bhairako cha. Even regarding fertility treatment, even if we want to provide a lot of service, there's no concrete plans or policies as such that could support us in any way or provide us a guideline that this is how it should be done, this is how it should be. Fertility treatment, especially IVF, is very expensive treatment. सबैको ले afford गर्न नसक्ने situation हुन सक्छ, हैन? But then that becomes the only resort for some people. And कसैले लोन लिनु पर्ने situation आउँछ, कसैले मैले यस्तो गरे भन्नुहुन्छ, हैन?
To have a baby.
But then we as a service provider can only do so much, a little bit to help them, but we're not a social organization to be able to give the treatment service for free or provide a lot of discount. त्यो पनि गर्न हामीलाई difficult हुन्छ. So if there was any support from the government, any plan as such, any policy as such to help them at least financially support गर्न सक्ने, or at least raise awareness so that they can reach us on time, that they don't have to spend so much money. त्यति level of support मात्र भयो भने पनि I think a lot of financial burden, a lot of stress is reduced for any patient. a lot of countries मा 2-3 IVF cycles governmentले support गरिदिने भनेर हुन्छ हैन नेपालमा त you cannot even talk about IVF, let alone the government has no policies regarding how to do it, and there's no demarcation or there is no quality control in the treatment, you know.
Right.
If you are opening an IVF clinic or infertility clinic, a person is paying a lot of amount of money and giving a lot of hope to you that you'll may be able to get, you know, pregnant or have a baby.
Right.
But then if your quality of treatment is not up to the mark, then the money is wasted. You know, so where does the quality stand? In a lot of countries, timle afno results haru you have to submit it to the government, you know, and if your result is below this, you cannot operate.
Oh, you mean like different
You
clinics
cannot-
le nahi
yes,
dinu paryo.
yes.
Oh,
So where's the data?
right,
You know?
okay.
So त्यो भयो भने at least when you have a good, you are able to maintain quality, then you are at least पैसा तिरेपछि you have to get that service, you know,
Right.
at least the level of service. IVF को 40-50%, maximum 40-45% worldwide success rate छ, हैन.
What is it at Patsalya?
At Patsalya, we're very happy to see that we have never gone below 60%. We have been able to give a constant 60% and above to the patient. So we know we are giving a good service. We know we are giving quality service. And we also hope that everybody around is able to give that service for the betterment of the patient, you know. मैले पैसा तिरिरहेको छु भनेपछि at least 10% success rate मा गएर I'm spending my money, because you don't know, the patient don't know what's the success rate. They just follow एउटाले भन्दियो भन्दैमा जाने हैन, or देखेन यो थाप यो सुनेछु जान्छु भन्ने गइरा हुन्छ हैन.
That's so true now that you say, because हामीले universityहरु check गर्दाखेरि we look at college rankings and then we decide whether यो rank को लागि म यति पैसा तिर्छु कि तिर्दैन, कि त अलिकति कम पैसा तिर्छु, but I would need at least this much. It's so true, not just in fertility but overall hospitals हरुले पनि यस्तो kind of something submit गर्नु पर्ने भएको भए, आफ्नो report card submit गर्नु पर्ने भएको भए, it would have made so much easier.
At least in infertility the result is very obvious, you know, the pregnancy is your outcome,
right.
So that's
so
very
calculate
easy.
गर्नु सजिलो छ.
That's very easy. So how many patients you had and what is the pregnancy success rate. You know, so it's not just for it's to build the overall quality of the clinic. At least people who are not able to reach that mark can work on it to improve themselves, you know. How do we get there? What are the things that we need to do to get there, you know? That's for overall. And patient जहाँ गए पनि, wherever they go, at least they get good treatment, you know, wherever they go. That's the most important thing. त्यो पनि छैन, there's nothing that helps, you know, to help the people in Nepal. Right now, slowly it's getting there, and I hope in near future we are, as a country, are able to accept that fertility treatment is a need, and then it has to be definitely regulated,
right?
You know, and provided and become a topic of discussion and a part of women health,
right?
Which is largely right now covered or overshadowed by contraception,
family planning,
family planning.
Because I wouldn't have even noticed had I not had this conversation with you, because I've heard so many ads on contraception and family planning and ke garnu parcha, kaso garnu parcha, but nothing really on fertility. That's so true. But the conversations there, we have to keep pushing it, and people like you are taking that initiative and to, you know, talk about this. Like you came on my show and explained beautifully everything about fertility, and I'm sure so many of our viewers have also taken value out of that, and maybe so many of them, like myself, we weren't as educated on the topic, and this will definitely help change so many lives and help change so many families. So thank you so much, Shrishti, for being on our show. I'm so happy to have you. Before you go, you would like to say a few words to our people around this space.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to discuss about this very less discussed topic as such. And what I would like to say is, motherhood is a choice. Whenever you want to have a baby, you should be able to have a baby. You don't want to have a baby, it's fine, you should not. But then when you want to, you should be able to have a baby. And if you're not able to have a baby, then you should be able to go to the fertility treatment services without hesitation and without any feeling of
doubt and shame.
Yeah, self-doubt and shame. Yeah, I think that if people are aware of this, then the scenario can change very soon.
Let's hope for the best, and let's hope we have many, many more happy, healthy babies and happy, healthy mothers and fathers. Before you go, I'd like to give you a small gift. This is from Tranquility Spa. You can take some time out of your busy schedule and get a good massage. This is from Glow to Glow. This is a free makeup service.
Thank you so much.
So when you have a special occasion and you want to look extra, you can go to them. And this is a small gift we have from PSafe.
Oh, thank you.
I think they're not exactly the same, but then they work around menstrual hygiene and they have products related to that. So I hope they come in handy for you.
Thank you so much. I actually have been using this product.
Right. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you so much.
And to our viewers, we won't let you go empty-handed either. If you want to win this special pack from Himalaya, it's called the New Mom Happy Mom Pack, or you want a relaxing massage from Tranquility Spa and goodies from PSafe, please do share our video on Facebook with the hashtag Himalaya Baby Care. And I would really like to thank our title sponsor Himalaya, our co-sponsor Vatsalya Natural IVF, online shopping partner Smart Toko, and wellness partner Tranquility Spa. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I will come back with another interesting episode next week. Till then, keep watching. Bye-bye.